What's up, world? Your boys back with another banger reaction. Oh, we got him coming back to back today. Now, we've got Saga the Youngin, and he has Elementary School Fight Club. What? Now, let me tell you something. If you've never been in a fight before in school, I don't know. You're an angel. I've had people that I've met, and I'm like, yo, you've never been in a fight before? How's that possible? How? I've been in too many, man. It's ridiculous. Maybe I'm the bad person. All right, now let's get straight to it. Reaction time.
Inside, I start walking to the back towards the playground, and way off in the distance, I can see a group of people gathered in a circle all the way on the opposite side of the school. And I was confused at what I saw because my elementary school had a pretty big open section in the back, right? They had some fields and a playground back there. But this group was in this secluded little corner that nobody ever went around. And the corner they were all congregated at was this really strange corner of the playground where there was this balance beam at. And it was this super old, rusty, corroded balance beam in the shape of a backward Z that was like cemented into the ground. And the school was built forever ago, so this thing had been sitting there for generations. I mean, it had to have been abused by decades of sun combined with rain. It was like a tie-dye of orange, red, and brown rust. Yeah. It even just looked nasty. Matter of fact, you might get tetanus just from...
You know what's crazy? You can determine where you live by just going to the school and see how well maintained it is. If you're in the hood, you're going to a hood school, oh, you can tell by when you're comparing it to go to the upper class schools and the white schools.
Staring at it too long. So it was basically a relic of the past that was just chilling in the corner of our playground. So I'm curious what everybody could possibly be congregated around this artifact of a balance beam for. I start walking over, and when I get there, in the middle of the circle, there were two kids standing up on the balance beam throwing jabs, fighting each other. At one point, the one kid grabs a hold of the other one by the shoulders and hurls him off the beam, slams him into the sand below.
Damn.
And when he hit the ground, the crowd starts going crazy. This was the most hype I had seen on the playground since those Foursquare tournaments. And after the loser...
You know what happens when every time kids starting to fight, the whole crowd is hyped up to get around the battle. Now you get the pressure. Now you can't lose in front of everyone because this is one of those times where everyone's going to remember this memory. So if you're in a fight, you always have to remember that. I can't take an L. Now, if you do take an L, my God, for the rest of your life, people are going to remember you as that guy that got knocked out. Come on now.
Fell to the ground. Another kid, he hopped up on the beam to try and challenge the winner. All of a sudden, people start lining up on either side of the balance beam to wait their turn and fight the kid on the opposite end. And that was the morning that Fight Club began. So a couple more days go by, more and more people start to notice these balance beam fights, and by the end of the week, there had to have been dozens of people congregating around the balance beam each morning before school. Everybody wanted to try their hand up on the beam. Next thing we know, morning Fight Club, it became a daily ritual. Yeah, we were at school, but this was not what the teachers meant when they said to raise your hands. And the rules of the fight were simple. Two people get up on the beam, and the first to touch the sand was the loser. Now, as far as the fighting went, nothing was off limits. You could wrestle your opponent off, you could grab their hoodie, yank them to the ground, you could swipe out their legs. Hey, whatever it took, whatever you wanted. So as a few days...
The best strategy is to stay low, so I can think of the shorter guys have advantage to this battle.
This went on, the structure of Fight Club started to evolve. Because there would always be arguments, you know, two people would be up there wrestling and their body weight would drag both of them down at the same time. Somebody would be like, no, I think you hit the ground first. I'll really sock you in the jaw right now.
What is this,
so
Royal
eventually
Rumble?
We instituted a referee position. So if two people had a close finish, the ref would be there to make the call. Another week of chaotic fighting goes by. We added some more structure to things and started up a sudden death tournament. So if you won your match, you got to advance. You get back in line and wait for your next opponent. But if you lost, that's it. You were done until the next one. You had to sit out and watch.
Okay.
So to win the entire tournament, you were going to have to win like 20 fights in a row. And then the other part...
This is pretty advanced for elementary school. I'm going to have to give it up to you guys, all right? You guys are geniuses.
...about it was, since the balance beam was above sand, nobody was really afraid to fall. And since nobody was afraid to fall, bro, people got carried away. They started acting like it was WWE. I remember one time, I got up on the beam, right? And my opponent...
Come on, bro. That's the Rock Bottom. You got to use the Rock's theme. Oh, he's much younger than me. You definitely came with the John Cena era. I came with the Rock era, so...
Launched himself at me. Air tackled me into the sand. I didn't even have time to react. I had to sit out and watch. Do you guys remember that even in elementary school, there was always like one kid that was somehow excessively tall for no reason?
Yep.
Even in like 3rd grade.
Uh-huh.
I don't know,
My
his
cousin.
parents feed him Trent or something for breakfast. Like you have no business being that tall. You're
Yep.
9 years old. Well, one day I get up there, look across the beam, and my opponent is that kid. And this kid had this one move he would always do where he'd wait for you to get close enough and then use his giraffe-looking leg to just
knock you out.
kickbox you to the ground. Bro was a force to be reckoned with, I can't lie. So as soon as the ref said go, I already knew the trick up his sleeve. We start moving towards each other. I start walking in closer and closer. I'm trying to bait him into kicking his leg up. And of course, he goes for the kick. He thought he had me in range. At which point, I lean back out of the way and boom, caught his shoe, twisted, and threw him down to the sand. Bro with his 8-foot legs didn't even fall. He just kind of tipped over like one of those walker things in Star Wars. Although, the craziest tactic I had ever witnessed, and I had never seen a move like this before. The two fighters, they were up on the balance beam when dude on the left took off his hoodie, threw it over the other kid's head, and then proceeded to bum rush him into the sand. I mean, I know we said anything is allowed, but I'm not gonna lie, that was crazy. And the one kid wanted a rematch, but the ref wouldn't give it to him. He said he lost fair and square. The two of them started getting into it a little bit. You know, the loser, he probably felt disrespected. So now they start fighting for real. And when they had both hit the sand, a little bit of dust.
So while you guys are doing this whole tournament, where are the teachers? I'm guessing this is recess time, right? Well, yeah, teachers usually watch around. I don't know what type of school you went to. If you went to a badass school, the teachers didn't even care. They just let y'all fight, man, whatever.
Clouds flew up from the ground, and as the dust started to settle, believe it or not, a man wearing a dark suit emerged from the dust.
There we go.
We were all just looking at him like, where did dude even come from? And he said, well, actually, I'm here from Morgan & Morgan Injury Law Firm. That's right, the same Morgan & Morgan that's sponsoring today's video. And we were just kids. We were like, Morgan & Morgan, what are you talking about? He said, look,
I'm not even mad at you, man. This is sponsorship. Get that bag, bro. All right? I know how hard it is for us animators, so I'm going to sit here and go through it. All right, let's go.
I noticed that you bum rushed my client, little Jimmy here, into the sand using an illegal move. And as a result, you forced us to file a wrongful injury suit against you. But I can't afford a lawyer. The only money I make is when I scam Billy over here for gum. 50 cents a stick. Don't let him know the whole pack is only $1 though. Oh, well, that's not a problem because here at Morgan & Morgan, we don't charge you for our services unless we actually win the case. And if we don't win, well, you lost your fight, but you don't lose your cash. Another great thing about Morgan & Morgan is how easy they've made it to submit a claim. They don't make you visit a law office or sit through long meetings. They allow you to submit your claim straight from your phone or computer, at which point it'll be reviewed by the Morgan & Morgan team. So you can essentially get a lawyer fighting your case without ever leaving your couch. And aside from their easy process, Morgan & Morgan is America's single largest injury law firm. They have hundreds of local lawyers in all 50 states. And because they're America's largest injury law firm, they have the resources to assist you in ways that smaller firms don't. For example, you won't just get a lawyer on your case, you also get a dedicated legal team, case investigator.
Let me tell you something. When you get a sponsor, like, all right, like all of us don't love to do sponsorships. I'm going to tell you the truth. All right, sometimes you don't want to do it. But, you know, it's a business as well. You got bills to pay. I get it. Let's get to the bag. All right, number two, well, sometimes I give them a limit, man. If it's over 60 seconds, I can't do it. Like, I can't sit there and just talk and talk and talk and talk. It has to be entertaining. Let's find a way where we can get it together. It's been entertaining. You guys get what you want, and I get what I want out of it as well.
Paralegals, and customer care specialists, all focused on helping you to maximize your settlement. Morgan & Morgan has an impressive settlement history, having recovered over $15 billion for their clients. And remember, you don't pay a cent unless they actually win your case. If you are ever injured in an accident, you can submit your claim. It only takes 8 clicks at forthepeople.com/saga. So that link will be in the top of the description. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Shout out to Morgan & Morgan, and I'll see you all in the next one.
All right, shout out to Saga. I know he's been working. I think he said he's got a team now. Look now. We need more videos. Keep dropping, young man. I see that you're on that grind. See you guys on the next one. Morgan & Morgan. The link is under the vid. Let's make sure I hit my guy with the like. I'm out!